It's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you are at work, in the car, or wherever you are, we hope you enjoy this show about the great sport of geocaching. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can be part of the adventure tonight in the chat room and participate with others as they watch the show. If you are listening later, please give it a like and subscribe on your favorite podcasting app so that you can get all of the weekly Geocache Talk goodness. If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today. Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Big thanks to Derek, Baker 6 Clan, and our featured patrons, Team Murky, 1940 Chevy, Joyful Nomad, Crime Fighter 89, Demac 04, OLB 1992, CP 590. Isn't that weird? They all had numbers. Not completely, but most of them did there. Swifty Golden, the Pizza Ninja, DMN Rec, and our new patrons, actually is a returning patron, Nitty Gritsky, B Genius, Belly Dancer 2,
Dobby,
returning patron RAR 285, and DSK 11. All right. And we're going to get right into it, but first we want to invite our special guest for tonight, Lanisa, a.k.a. Chronically Tired Mom. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So both Jesse and Lanisa have no idea what's going on tonight.
We'll see what happens.
And they both said, yeah, we're good with that. Whatever.
I like to wing it.
Yeah.
Way.
Well, you're gonna get 20 questions coming your way, sort of. Not really 20. We only get through 20. But before we do all that, I do have quite a bit of news. And we have breaking news. Podcast to Hope is less than 2 weeks away. Can you believe it, Jesse? 2 weeks is less than 2 weeks.
I know. That's it. It came upon us quick.
So, Lanisa, did you happen to catch it last year, or this will be your first Podcast to Hope to?
No, I wasn't there for the whole hours.
Well, true.
I don't remember which segments I watched, but I was there for a few of them.
Okay, cool. Yeah. No, most people don't really capture all 8. That's a long time to be sitting there staring at Jesse and I, but
long time for us to be sitting there.
It is a lot of us, but we have a lot of great guests. So yeah, check out the schedule, and you can go to Geocache Talk /Hope, and you'll find it there. It's in the if you go to the website under specials, there's a link to it to the page, and you'll find the link to the YouTube video. You'll find the podcasthope.com page for the giving. We made it. Thank you, Derek. We made it very simple. Podcasthope.com. When it does, it'll take you to tiltify.com /campaign, whatever. Just made it simple. Podcasthope.com. It's got the whole schedule. All times are Central Standard Time on the page, so sort of, read it accordingly based on your time zone. But they're all out there, and very exciting. We have a great lineup for this year, And we have also a lot of great vendors who are going to be providing some great prizes. So really excited about that. Some of our old standbys are back, but we also got some new folks that wanted to give. So that they're going to be exciting. So, and yeah, Neil Moore is going to be making an appearance. Him and his cohorts will be making an appearance on the to talk about coins for kids.
Mm-hmm.
That link is out there. I'll put it in the chat room for everybody, but I still have lots of coins. Please come purchase coins from me. Lenisa's got hers.
Oh, that was the best birthday present I've gotten in years.
Which is funny because it was your husband's Aaron, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, what's funny about that is I go, oh, huh. As I said, I knew it had to be you, and I was like, oh, well, I didn't think twice about it. What's good thing is I didn't say anything to you. I just shipped them because you had no idea they were coming.
No.
That worked. Good thing I didn't say anything to you. Like, hey, thanks for buying Coins for Kids coins. You'd be like,
So you knew it was me because that's not a very common last name. It's
right.
It's kind of out there. Yeah.
But
I screamed when I opened that package. I got so excited.
That's awesome.
I got so excited.
Thankfully, I didn't say anything to anybody. So, it worked out perfect because
now I just need a pretty display case.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So Coins for Kids, please buy them. We have plenty left. I got a whole thing of them. So you can buy one. If you want to just buy one, that's fine. $20. Or if you want to buy all three, instead of $60, you get $10 off. So it's $50. And all the proceeds will be going to St. Jude. And then that night, what we'll do is we'll figure out the total, and then I'll give that to Neil and to Jason and Craig and say, here's the amount that was given, and then during their hour, we'll make that final donation for everybody who buys who buys coins before that point, and then that'll be exciting to see because they're sort of the end of the podcast of hope. So
grand finale.
It may be they might put them over the top with that. So if you want to be part of that history, yeah, that'd be awesome. So there you go. So podcast.
The only thing is, I go to bed at like 8:30, and you put them on so late. I don't know what I want to do. Either I go to bed, set my alarm, or I have to stay up.
You gotta stay up, drink some coffee, and you'll be fine. Do like us, just hang in there for the. Yeah. Well, we used to do it on Sunday night. And
no way this year. No way. It's up to 1:00 for me now.
Yeah, so. It is. And the next day for most people is work. So yeah, we gotta do that. All right. Well, I've been told I need to throw it over to Derek. Derek's gonna play something. So we'll just find out what this is. The vault. And that's all I can say about it.
And that's it.
I've been told that I cannot spill any beans tonight. So that's it.
No beans.
The vault. On we go. So next up, want to mention about the coin. So we've been working, mostly the other guys. I would just kind of along for the ride. But we made a GTN cipher coin, which is unbelievable. I'll show you. It's hard to explain and hard to even think about unless you actually get one. But here's the coin. It's got different parts to it. That part spins. And it's got lots of cool things on it. It's a cipher coin. So there's some of the ciphering. It's got different things. These all these pieces come off and they all go up at the top. And then when you line it up through there, you can you can see through there, and it can all line up, and you can see the geocache you've been looking for right there. So, anyway, again, parts
complicated for my brain.
It's very complicated, Lenny said, but that's the awesome part of the coin. So, patrons, $10 and $8 patron. We don't really have. Well, we have some 8s left. We don't really provide 8 as an option anymore, but $10 and $8. I'm shipping now. $5 and $3. We'll be able to buy them half off. So that'll be coming soon to them. They'll be given the instructions, and then once we've given enough time for the 5 and 3 to purchase if they would like one, then we will provide that coin to the general public if you'd literally like one. It ties into my next item that I want to mention, which is a shameless plug.
Shameless
coin. I know, shameless. So if you buy the book, you probably want to become a patron and get the coin. Okay, that's a very shameless plug. You like that? Very shameless. But the book is out called The Coin. It's a little short story. I think it's pretty good. Of course, what do I know? Hopefully people are enjoying it. So I'm going to be working on the Audible version of this. So if you want to wait, you can to buy this. I'm working this week to get the Audible done. I don't know. I think it takes a little while for it to be up. Hopefully I get it before Christmas out there, but if not, you can always get the paper version. And then lastly, on the shameless plug side of things, I am doing a new podcast, just me, but I have lots of cool guests. It's called the Healthy Road Podcast. It is on Audible. It's audio podcast only. It is on Spotify and other podcasting apps. I put the I put the Spotify link in the show notes in case you want to check it out that way. It's out there on Podbean, and it's on Google. It's on iHeartRadio, I think, at this point too. So if you don't find it on your favorite podcasting app, please email me. You can send it to GarySlinkert@gmail.com, and I will work on getting get that put up on your favorite Audible or favorite podcast app. So lastly, I know a lot of notes tonight. We want to talk about the 2022 Joy Noel mission, and all the notes, by the way, about all this you'll want to check out. They'll be up on the show notes link tonight after the show. Joy Noel has been going now for a few years, but Tim Green gave us some information on that recently, and I put that up on in the show notes. It's also out. The information is out on geocaching discussion forums. So if you go to the discussion forums and you can search under geocaching under Joy Noel, you will find that link if you want to cut and paste it later on. But I put that in the show notes. So or not in the show notes. It's also in the chat room. Joy Noel, for those that are not familiar with this, it's a chance to kind of do a Secret Santa with others. You'll do a unactivated, non-activated trackable geocoin. No micros, no path, no travel, no path tag type things. Has to be a geocoin. And usually a nice Christmas card. And if you want to throw in other items, that's highly encouraged. And you will be given the name of somebody else when you do that. And you won't get the same person that you're sending it to. The idea is to kind of randomize it out So you're sending it to somebody, and that person sending somebody else, and then that person sending you a coin. So a lot of fun. The information again is in the show notes on how to participate. I will tell you that you have until November 25th to join, so 5 days from now, and on November 27th, they will send you the name of the person that you'll have to send the card and everything to, and they have some instructions on what they want you to do to be part of it. Several people already got involved, so very cool. It's always exciting to do that. Bell on the Move says he signed up again. It's got to be, from my understanding, I need to do it too, but from my understanding is everyone who's ever done the Joy Noel, they want to do it every year. So very exciting. And obviously it must be pretty good because people frequently sign up. So obviously it's a good program. So Nicole, Be Genius just signed up, learned about it at a local meetup. Excited for my first time, already looking at coins. So that's cool. Yeah. Awesome stuff. All right. Anything else on the... I think I covered as much news as humanly possible.
I think the everybody probably seen it, but HQ sent out the notice that those two location lists are going to expire, I believe, pretty soon.
Okay, cool. Yeah. GC Neat, and there's the new one that came out this year as well.
You got a long time for GC Fave or whatever.
Fave, yeah, that's got time. But GC
that one's a long time. But Neat and the Frog, I think, are expiring, right?
Are expiring at the end of the month, end of the year, probably, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
I think Fave, you have all the way to 2024 to get it.
Yeah. I haven't gotten the Neat cash yet, but does it count if I go pick up trash in my yard? That's what y'all see.
It gets anywhere.
What about inside my house?
You might be able to pull that off, Ladisa. You might be. That might actually work. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. You could try.
It's just clean up anywhere, so it's worldwide CEDO. So anywhere you want to
go. Throw a kid in there, and you got a guarantee. Just have them, make them
in the trash.
No. I
don't think you're supposed to throw kids in the trash.
In the photo, put the.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, throw your kid. Golly, you two.
You said it, not me.
Hey, no, I said if you put the kid, it's like dogs and pets, or dogs and kids. If you put them in a photo, everybody goes, "Oh, that's so wonderful."
So just somebody in there asked to, but this is different than the Labyrinth. The Labyrinth is the other promotion they're running right now. There's two locationless caches. If you're brand new or coming in, go to the official geocaching blog and they'll give you the details on all those, and it's locationless. So you can do it from pretty much anywhere in the world. Well, you can do it from anywhere in the world. And they'll give you the details on there. There's blogs about a couple of different ones to give you the details on that.
Yeah. Christian was asking about that. Yeah. No, it's, it's different. The Labyrinth, I think, is end of November for the last part.
I don't know when the last phase is. I have to look it up. It's one of those you usually just get an announcement and you forget, and you're like, "Oh, I got that. That's good."
Yeah. That's for another show. Talk about their latest this year's. I like some of the other ones better, to be honest with you, but we'll get into it at another time. All right, let's get in. Let's get into this. Again, it's a Smorgasbord. Nice $1,000 word there, Smorgasbord. So mishmash, potpourri, I don't know who you want to use. But I have questions for Jesse and Lanisa, and they're both going to answer. And I don't care. Whoever wants to go first, let me know, and they'll go first, and then the other person will go second. So who wants to go first?
It doesn't matter.
There you go.
You're both going to answer. So, Jesse, I'll let you go first since you're old.
Okay.
You're old.
Ouch.
At least he hasn't forgotten how old he was yet.
like you did. That was pretty funny. Yeah, well,
sometimes I wouldn't mind forgetting how old I am, but I haven't
I don't know
forgotten.
If it was
yet.
funny, but I appreciate you sharing that, Lenise, that you'd forgotten a whole year. Well, not you didn't forget the year. You just forgot the birth year.
I thought I was 42. Yeah,
I know,
and I was not. I was turning 44.
Right.
When you get to a certain age, you just don't think about that sort of thing anymore. It's not important. But it is a bit of a shock when you jump from 42 to 44 in a day. Yeah, so that was a little hard.
Little harsh, right? Yeah.
My daughter did the math for that one.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not turning 44. I'm turning 43. It's like, Mom, come on.
No, you're off.
Kids keep you humble.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're only as old as you feel. So you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, right. Sure. All right. Well, this one's a good one because this is up Jesse's pet peeve question. So, who is responsible for trackables in your geocache or in geocaches in general? Who is responsible?
Well, the true answer to this one is the owner of the cache. Nobody likes to hear that. Clearly in the rules, I see you picked this just because it pisses me off, but that is part of regular geocache maintenance. Trackables go missing so often, and I'm not a super big collector of trackables. Neither you, Gary, or I are, but I've got a bunch of them. But that's a reason why I don't put a lot of them out and move them around as much, is because every time you go, and we told the story a million times, but every time you go out there, like when I take my daughter out there and that's all she wanted to do is find the trackables. Every time you go there, it says, oh, it's got 7 and it has 0 in it. Right. And nobody's ever checking these things or reporting, cachers, if they go there and it doesn't have it, you should put, there's none in here, put that in your log and not just copy and paste your log. And the owner is responsible for checking that. That's part of regular cache maintenance. If there's been one sitting there for a year and, you haven't checked on your cache, you're not going to know. Just go check on your caches. I see how you're going tonight already. You're going to start off with these kind of questions. It seems like nowadays nobody's responsible for them because they disappear so quickly.
Nobody wants to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll throw it over to Lanisa. So go ahead.
If they're in my cache, I feel responsible. So I don't get super excited when people drop off trackables. I appreciate that they think the cache is unique enough to put a trackable in there. But yeah, because I had one of mine muggled with a brand new trackable in it, and I felt so bad. I was so mad.
I have too.
So I don't move trackables a lot myself because I'm scared to death I'm going to lose it.
Or or whatever cache you put it in is going to go missing, and then you're responsible for that. I told the story many times about the one that was like, I want to go to West Monroe and get near Duck Dynasty and all that. Like, all right, I'll take. I'm going that way. Mm-hmm. Like, I will take care of your mission because I'm going to drive through that area. I'm going to go to West Monroe. So I go to West Monroe. I find a cache that looks like it's never, never had any real issues, and so I look safe. So I put it in there, and it's gone.
Direwolf brings up a good question, except for I'm not buying it. So, what if someone took it but just hadn't had the time to log it yet? I bet you had time to log the cache, so you had time to log the trackable too. People will forget to log trackables a lot. You should log that all at one time. As soon as you log that cache, you should be logging that trackable as well.
Right, but I think what he's saying
somebody says there's this ancient device they had before cell phones where they do GPS, so they can't log them in the field. Nobody's believing that. Nobody uses a GPS.
Nobody's. Yeah.
People don't forget to log caches, but they forget to log trackables all the time.
Right, but I think what Daryl's saying though is that is in his thinking is that the responsibility then falls on the geocacher, not the cache owner.
It does to move the trackable, but
does.
As part of geocache maintenance, it clearly lists in the rules that trackables being in your cache for an extended period of time, that is part of geocache maintenance. So ultimately, everybody's responsible for trackables, right? You should all be responsible for it. Everybody that touches one should be responsible. Or comes anywhere near one should be responsible for it. We're not, but we should all be.
Yeah.
And most people don't follow that trackable etiquette.
No.
I make sure when I pick up a trackable, on the rare occasion I do, to log it immediately in case somebody, especially at an event, in case somebody's looking for that one, or they're going to a cache that has a lot of trackables. I log it immediately so they know it's not there. It's been moved along.
Right.
Events are a whole nother thing. People, that's where they go. Like if they've had them for too long, like it dropped to the bottom of their geocaching bag and they forgot, they just go to an event and drop it off.
Mm-hmm.
And because they don't actually even hand it to anybody. They drop it on the table and run out the door. It's like, don't do that. And you can't like lock them. Like go back on every mega and there's like 50 trackables still in it from 2014.
They're still out there there's still some in Denver, apparently, supposedly, but they're not. But, yeah, I like Sam Marcus says, I've got a pin back button machine. If one of my caches goes missing with someone's trackable, I will make replacements and let the owner know. Owner make the decision if they want me to replace the replica. That's going above and beyond.
Above and beyond. That's awesome.
That is awesome. And thank you for that, Sam Marcus. And by the way, shout out to him and his team as they get ready for Bamarama coming out in February. So hopefully people are making plans to go to Bamarama.
I wish. I would love to go.
It's going to be a great event. Mm-hmm. They've got a geocaching, something Jesse and I have talked about. They have got a gadget trail that is going to be incredible.
No, don't tell me that.
I know. Well, that'll be out there after the mega, but if you can make it to the mega, please go. That's going to be a fun mega in Alabama. So
Mobile, right?
Yeah, down in the southern part. I have
friends that actually live in Mobile, but still, that's a long way for me.
Yeah, yeah. San Marcos is called Gadget Cache Park now. That's great. Yeah, Bamarama in Alabama. To Neil. Neil's asking. Yep.
What's the date on that? Do you know? I'm sure somebody can throw it in the chat room real quick.
It's in February, but that's all I remember.
Yeah, Gulf Shores. So yeah,
Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Gulf Shores down there in the very right on the coast there, down at the bottom.
I've got it on the watch list. I think I would like to make it to that one.
I can pull the GC. We can get that for you, Neil, and for the folks listening. But we'll get you that. Oh, here we go. I tell you, we got a great chat room tonight. GC9 TB, as in travel bug. TB1Z or Z, if you're so inclined.
I know he's worked hard on that.
TB1Z. Shout out to our Canadian and European listeners.
And most of the world.
And most of the world probably uses Z instead of 0 or, the letter Z. So, and shout out to all our listeners around the world. I am always amazed to see the countries, and we so appreciate everybody in all over the world who listen to Geocache Talk. It's just wonderful. So, all right. Next question.
Jesse's biting his nail.
Lenisa has to answer correct. Lenisa, you have to answer first on this one.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Then we'll go back and forth. So this is you get first shot at this question. You get to the final of a fairly difficult puzzle, and this happens to you. What do you do? And I've got a picture just to give to you guys. So let me pull up the picture.
Oh, now we got pictures. This is multimedia.
No, it is multimedia.
We're getting
Find a
fancy.
picture. So this actually happened to us last week. Here's the photo of what we saw when we got to the final.
Oh,
Great.
that is so disappointing.
There are 2 nanos for the audio listeners. There are 2 nanos on the bottom of this fire hydrant.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do, Lanisa?
Well, if it was a hard puzzle, I'd be disappointed finding a nano. But
I understand that. That's your first. That's a good first point.
what do
That's
I do?
Good answer.
That's
Eeny,
pretty funny.
meeny, miny, mo. I don't know.
I'm a direwolf. That actually looks like three cash containers there.
Okay.
There might have been 3 there. We only saw the 2. Yeah, 2 containers. Happy
I
Hood
lay
Egg.
down in the fetal position and rocking back and forth after that. All that work.
And wait
and
for
then finding
it.
a nano.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen this same thing happen before in real life a couple times.
Sign both. I would cover my bases, sign it all. But I would also be mad. I don't like nanos.
Oh my, really?
Yes.
I love nanos.
Really?
Kind of hard to hide an ammo can under a fire hydrant.
That's
Just gonna throw that out there for you.
That's for another show, but I tell you what, I am in love with nanos. They are challenge accepted.
Well, I mean, yeah, but when you're doing a hard puzzle like that, or a puzzle, you want something, I don't know, something more fun than a nano under a hydrant.
Obviously the correct answer is you steal one of them so you can hide it later.
Right. It's like a freebie.
There's 2. Right? It's an extra one, so you're allowed to steal one of them. I think that's how that works.
It's a bonus, right?
It's a bonus. It's a
free nano.
What they used to call it, where they'd seed it and you're supposed to go hide it somewhere else.
Yeah.
If realistically you could look on the logs and see if one was a recent replacement.
Right.
You could also call the owner, if you know the owner, or message the owner and say, hey, there's 2 of them. Show them the logs. Which one is the real one? I signed them both. And I, happy to go back and take one of them. And if they're not close by, you could take one of them away after they said to.
Right. Right.
But
he says take one and leave a blank log in the other.
Yeah, and just sign FTF in your log and start it all over.
Start all over again.
But it's the bolt there kind of looked like one of those fake bolts too, where you stick it up under there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look like that.
I have found puzzles by accident.
Oh yeah.
And did the reverse and looked on the log to find out where those people found it, to find out what puzzle it was.
Yeah.
But you'd have to sign both and then try to message the owner if you couldn't tell. If they were there long enough that people have been signing both of them, you would have to message the owner, I guess. That's the only thing. It's the only real thing you can do other than just remove one, which who knows? Open it first. One of them may be fake.
That's true.
They both could be fake. You could be going to another stage after that.
We did the wrong thing, which was we were kind of in a hurry. We signed one, and we signed one that looked legit. So it was the right names, and we signed it, put it back, and then we were about to leave, and that's when one of our group took the picture, and we got in the car and took off, and he goes, there were 2 nanos there. Like, really? Oh my gosh, that's really cool. Well, maybe not. And then we just kept going. So
you could just take both those nanos that look pretty nice and throw down a pill bottle and then leave.
Right.
Really confuse everybody.
No. You're not. You're playing whatever. What's the gallant? What's the goofy? You're Goofus.
Yeah. I'm just
Goofus.
Yes, that's Jesse. He's doing that to us. And he's driving people in the.
You didn't say answer honestly. You just said answer the question.
Crazy. That's true. I did ask you to answer.
Well, if you were to sign both those nanos, you have to allow at least 30 minutes to unroll it, sign and
Yeah, I've got a little log roller. Do you have one of those, Lisa?
yes, and I usually end up ripping the paper because I'm in a hurry. It's
Oh,
never
I
it's
hear
never
you.
good. It's never
I
good.
know. Okay. Next question. And again, these are so random. That's the idea tonight.
All right.
I hope there's some weird ones in there too.
Well,
No,
Jesse has to start on this one.
Uh-oh.
The next one: top 3 things to focus on for a cache hide. What are the top 3 things that you want to focus on? You're going to hide a cache. What are the top 3 things?
Number one would be location.
Location.
If I'm just picking picking just generically, bring somebody to a really cool location.
Yeah.
Maybe the second would be the story that goes along with it. Okay. And then third, I would say, would be the actual container once you get there. Really creative container, nice backstory, whether it's, whatever cache type it is, but the kind of the journey along the way, if it's a where I go or whatever else, I would put that right above the third one being the cache container.
Okay.
We're just talking really generic at that point.
Yeah. Okay. We are in general terms.
Yeah.
So, Lanisa, what are your thoughts?
kind of along the same lines. Location, it doesn't have to be spectacular because, there's not always going to be a spectacular location to go to, especially where I live.
Right.
But I put all my caches in a fairly pretty location. And then I focus on my cache I do a I do a lot of creative caches. Something I put a lot of hard work into that's fun to open, fun to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I do the cache page, I kind of do a story or something really interesting to pique their interest, not some just, a short description. Like I did one recently. The title of it was Never Laugh When a Hearse Goes By, and it's in a birdhouse. I'm not going to give it all away.
Nice.
On the river, on a really pretty part of the river.
Uh-huh.
And when you open, you have to do a puzzle to open it, a field puzzle. And then when you open it up, there's, kind of goes along with the theme, Don't Ever Laugh as a Hearse Goes By.
Uh-huh.
And then I have a little sound machine that I got an idea from Gadget Talk inside of it.
That's awesome.
And it's fairly new. So.
Love it.
So
see, that's a favorite. That's favorite point worthy right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I worked on my cache.
Neither one of us mentioned permission at all.
Oh no,
no, we didn't. That wasn't your top 3.
No,
that's awesome.
Well, I did make sure it was on public land and it wasn't like a DNR land, so I didn't figure it was a big deal.
Yeah. Some of the comments in the chat room, Bell and Move mentions about location. Darren from Down Under, he mentioned experience. And Darren, thanks for being on, my friend. Hopefully Monday is a good-looking Monday, so it's Monday there. Let's see. Hailmeister, container durability is his number 1. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I made sure mine was as weatherproof as possible, and I got my hubby and my brother in. I'm making sure that happened.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be different depending on where, if you live in the middle of the city, you may or may not find a great location. The location alone may be a neat location. It may not be if you're in a really urban area.
Right.
And if you're in the northern tundra, cache container durability is probably going to be pretty important.
Well, yeah. I don't live in the
Hounds.
tundra, but I live up north, and it's 6 months of snow out of the year.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. I would call that the tundra.
Yeah, Scrabble House mentioned about waterproof container. That's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, if possible, make it as waterproof as possible. Yep. Durability is very important. Cool. All right. Next question. And this
These
is
are
sort
easy
of
so far. Spice it up, Tom.
This is the 2-parter. So if this aspect of geocaching went away, I would not care. So what aspect of geocaching, Lanisa, would you, if it went away, would you go, whatever?
Well, you probably know the answer, maybe. Webcams.
Oh,
I don't see the big deal,
kick her
especially
out,
when you're
please.
way out there
Derek,
and
you're
you hear.
producing. Kick her out. Thank you.
I know a lot. That's a
I'm
sore spot for a
kidding.
lot of people, especially probably for Cache Canada because he's got a butt ton. So, oh, there he is. He doesn't like the Where Cache.
Not
Yeah,
me. Don't kick me out. Kick her.
But yeah, webcams. I've done one Where I Go, and I wasn't impressed. So I was like, if I see a Where I Go, I'm like, eh. But
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
See, Jesse's going to make you. Jesse's, you Where I Go. Oh, my gosh. Some people, yeah. Webcams,
okay.
though. Well, webcams, you're close to getting your wish because there may be a day.
I don't really want them to go because I know a lot of people enjoy them, but I don't, go out of my way to find a webcam unless it's for a challenge or something. I know.
But they're so rare.
That's the only reason anybody cares, though. Webcams suck. Be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
They're terrible.
I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, well, I agree to a point. Here's the thing, though. Every time, I'm trying to figure out what way to say this. My experience, though, with webcams so far, the ones I've done, I've only done a couple, or three or four now, is that they're memorable to me because of the aspect of getting to them was typically there's a story behind it. One was, and I'll tell the story, so I'm not going to go through the stories, but one was at Moga because we were trying to do as many cache types in a day. One was in Wyoming at the Wyoming airport because it was such a booger to try to get because it was the old style swing around camera that took forever and we were never quite sure if we were going to be in the picture or not. So we were laughing and having a good time about that. Another one when Oklahoma was crazy, just like, are we in the picture yet? I guess nowadays, like Jesse said, they're not. You do them on your phone now.
They're not that hard.
They're not that hard now.
No.
I guess that was the thing. When they were harder, I think they were more memorable because it was like, yeah, we finally got the photo. Now it's a little bit easier. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to find one. GCDSK11 says, I haven't had the opportunity to find a webcam. You need to find at least one.
Yeah. The only reason I go out of my way to find them is because they are rare and they're going away. And, there's challenges out there for them, but they're not exciting. If I had to pick, so my number one, I agree with Lanisa, webcams are going away. It's already going to happen. You're probably going to get that wish. We can all remember that we can blame her for it when they go away because she said they need to go away first.
That's my
so
plan.
I'll pick something different. And this, I know somebody that would really hate this answer, but if I had to pick one to go away, I wouldn't pick any cache types because I like all the cache types.
Yeah.
Webcam being the last, but I would keep all the cache types. Even labs, some people like them, some people don't. And trackables are fun. So if I'm thinking something has to go away and I have to pick one of the aspects, I have to say souvenirs. I don't care for. I know a lot of people love those. I don't even look at them. They're on a page that it's only there because I know a lot of people love them and they get into them. And like we interviewed Doug not that long ago, and he's like one of the number one in the world for collecting souvenirs and stuff. And I can't even tell. I could not tell you within probably 30 right now of how many I have. I couldn't guess how many I have because I never look at that. And again, I don't think it's a bad thing. But if I had to pick one thing, that would be the least important part of geocaching in general for me. Would be those souvenirs. I've never really found any value in them ever. I like the work that goes into getting them, and if there's a really cool one out, I'd probably maybe work for it, but I don't even ever go look for them. Outside of like in the very beginning, when you would get one, there were they weren't as plentiful, and you get one for like a new state. That was pretty neat. When you first got your new one for going to a new state or whatever, that was pretty neat. But I can't remember the last time I even looked at that page. So
I completely.
If I had to chop something, that's what I would chop.
I would be okay with that too. And the thing is that if you were to ask Doug about it, Doug's more excited about the fact that he found a geocache in 61 countries.
Yes,
not
100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
Not that there's a souvenir that goes with it, but it is kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, I like.
Oh, it's a great stat. I mean, there's all kinds of weird, and we can talk about this some other day, but there's all kinds of weird stats out there that you might be number one in the world in. It might not be your favorite. It happens because of your style of. Mm-hmm. He's got those souvenirs because he travels the world, right? Not because he's chasing those souvenirs specifically. I don't think.
Right. Well, if you're the number one in the world, though, you kind of probably take it. You might think about.
Yeah, and exactly what Neil is saying is the beauty of geocaching is that there is something for everyone. Yeah, I'm not bagging on souvenirs. I don't care about them enough to bag on them.
Right. Well, that's how I feel about webcams. Yeah. I just don't care enough about them. I don't care.
Yeah, if I had to. And I agree with her too. Webcams, they could go away, and I'm not going to be sad. Not that I want them to go away, because if some people really get into that, great. Right. Oh, I messed up. I have another one.
Okay.
What are those other ones? The waymarks.
Waymarks. That's not really geocaching though. They've kind of been separated out.
That is true, but if I was forced to,
right. Give something.
Cut out one aspect of it. Waymarks, I would cut those out even before souvenirs.
Is waymarks the same as benchmarks?
No. Oh, benchmarks are now gone. Sadly, benchmarks I would keep. I understand why they got rid of them, but waymarking, I would cut that first before even souvenirs. I forgot about those totally.
Waymarking,
but people love that, and more power to them for loving that. But for me personally, if I had to ask something, that would be the first thing.
Yeah, waymarking, Lenisa, was something that it got separated out. It got separated, bifurcated out of geocaching. It's locationless caches, and so it became though kind of a mess. Some people love it, but like a McDonald's could be a waymark, and it's like, okay,
people kind of make their own. There's not as much of a review process. There is, but. Waymarking.com is a whole separate site, but it's obviously owned by geocaching. But you could play that game and never touch geocaching.
Yeah.
But then what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So tied along with what I just asked you guys is this next question, which is if this aspect of geocaching went away, I would be seriously bummed out.
Oh. Is it me first?
Lenisa goes first.
Oh, I do?
Yeah. What if it went away, would you be like, oh man, that's terrible?
I don't know. I probably think, well, I guess megas. But I'm sure that will never happen.
Ooh. That's interesting though. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm sure that would never happen. I mean, that would be very rare. I don't know, but if we didn't have megas or events, what if they just did away with all that and we were just on our own? So yeah, that would.
They kind of did for a little while. It wasn't their fault. But during COVID, it didn't work. On, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
That was a terrible time too.
That was bad.
I geocached more during the lockdown. That's where I got all my geocaches. Right. I mean, more. Yeah. So that was not, I think everybody did the same. I'm sure. I didn't worry about it. Nobody was around, but yeah, I would be bummed if there's no more megas or events. I've made so many friends over the past few years because of it.
Yeah. Mel threw in all events. So that's a good way to put it.
Yes.
Yep. Events
Neil
Moore. That is a very good answer.
I would be totally bummed. I would probably cry a lot.
I probably would cry too.
I would laugh at Gary for crying, and then I might cry myself actually.
Cry yourself, yeah.
We we've met most of our friends through events and definitely through geocaching. And I couldn't even imagine the game without events. That's a hard one. That's tough.
What's yours, Jesse?
You know, since she went with one that hard, it's gonna be hard to top that.
I know.
I'm gonna be creative in my answer and say, because it's theoretically possible, I'd say non-traditional caches. So, like in the very beginning, it was only traditional caches before if it ever went back down to where it was only traditional caches, like you couldn't do anything else. I think that would be the nail in the coffin for me. I think you would lose so much of the game.
Yeah. Arthur King says mystery caches.
And if that one's too obvious, I would say cell phone caching. If you had to go back to GPS, I would just quit.
Gosh, yes.
Just play checkers. I would just quit altogether.
Yeah.
No, I like the creativity of like mystery caches, puzzles and challenges and stuff like that. It would be very disappointing if they cut any aspect of the non-traditional caches out.
Right. Okay. All right. Next one. What thing, and this would be tough for Lenisa, you haven't been caching as long, but what thing that is gone from geocaching you wish would come back?
Am I going first?
I think we're going to make Jesse go first.
I haven't been around as long as you either, but I'm trying to think what's gone from geocaching.
It's kind of tough. That's the good part is they haven't added a lot of things, but the good thing is they haven't really taken a lot of things away.
No,
we've talked about how there's really not a lot of new types, but they really haven't taken away a lot of things.
So, because they've brought everything back pretty much that they've ever gotten rid of. They had the locationless caches. Those technically were taken away, but they've done a few of those. You can't hide any new webcams, and I don't think I'd want to. I think a lot of people would expect me to say the pre-moratorium rules on challenges.
Yeah,
I don't really agree with that. I'm one of those ones that actually agree with a lot of those rules that they had, because people changed everything all the time on those, and that was weird. The lost and found attribute, that's a good one.
Mel mentioned that one, right?
Yeah. The let's see. What did they take away?
In a sense, virtuals are.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go with, but I didn't know if that would count or not. If they did,
that'll count because we can't do them unless you've been awarded one. But there was a time when you could just do virtuals anywhere back in the day.
I would say I wish they would bring virtuals back, but with a caveat of maybe you only with some kind of limitations, right? Like,
right,
you only get to hide one a year, and it has to go through approval process or something like that. Or maybe you only get one. Maybe you just get one. Each person gets one. I don't know. They haven't taken much away that they haven't. I think they've really brought just about everything back to the game. Mm-hmm. They've tried to intentionally make sure that if you're new to the game, you're on the same playing field as people that were that started 20 years ago.
Right. Is there anything you can think of, Lenisa? I know you've.
Well, we mentioned it earlier, and the only reason I say is benchmarking is because I was always just starting to get into that, and it wasn't exciting, but it was a little kind of like a side game to geocaching, and then they did away with it right when I was getting into it.
Right.
So, but that was recent. It's not from.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. And Tyva mentions Adventure Labs is virtual. You're right. That's
it really is.
It is. It's kind of the replacement in a sense for virtuals. So, all right, we're getting kind of close to the end. I'm going to leave, and Derek's producing, so I wanted to let him know. I'm leaving question 7 be our last question, but I do want to ask you guys about something it's been brought up before, but what the heck? We'll talk about it again today.
All right, go for it.
Puzzle caches. You're in a group. You've solved the puzzle, but you didn't solve the puzzle. Somebody else in your group solved it. Are you going to sign it? You didn't solve the puzzle. Does your name go on that cache? This is really a general category. I guess you could do this with a lot of questions, but
This would be a tree climb or anything.
Tree climb etiquette. Yeah, you and I were together. You climbed the tree, tossed the container down. I signed it with you and I's name. I threw it back to you, and you put it back in the tree.
Yeah.
Should I have been able to signed it? By the way, I did go back and remove my find on that one.
Did you really?
I really did.
You're a sucker.
I think I got, yeah, but I really felt, and so nobody can say that I've never signed a log tree climb wise that I've never actually done myself.
But what about a puzzle? You solved every puzzle that you've ever played? Oh, come on now.
No, there's plenty in our group. We have sort of a puzzle solver in our group, and he'll solve them. We'll drive there.
Well,
yeah.
Now I don't see.
Catch Canada. You solve it, I'll drive. That's perfect.
I'm not a puzzle solver. I mean, I do some, but if you're actively working together on the puzzle, not just letting this one person solve it and then you just claim the find. If you're both trying, or the whole group is trying to solve it, and one comes up with the answer first, I don't see a problem with that. But if you just let one person solve it and you're just sitting on the side eating popcorn, no, I wouldn't sign it.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
I don't know.
I would sign it. I'd have no problem with it at all. I mean, if somebody,
do you feel plain?
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
I'm happy to climb the tree. I'm happy to solve the puzzle. I'm happy to do all those things. Yeah. But if we're going to take it to that extreme, then if you're standing there to gadget with your person that you're caching with, you need to close your eyes while they solve the gadget. Nobody's doing that. You know what I mean? You can't. It would take all the fun out of solve for me in the way I cache. It would take all the fun of, if I'm caching with 2 or 3 people and we're flying through an area and we're all working together to do all these, it would take some of the fun out of it. And this is one of those, you kind of play the game how you want to play it, right? Like if you looked up the answer online, you cheated and got it out of a group, that's going to feel like cheating. But if it's somebody you're working with and they solve the puzzle, you're probably not going to feel like it. Not everybody that climbs a tree, we know on tree climbs, if you're using that, but like Derek's scuba diving one. Derek's down there scuba diving, but there's a whole team of people working on that. It may not be everybody that goes to the bottom. There may be somebody keeping them safe up top, and they're part of that team, or mountain climbs or anything else. I think it all kind of falls into what you feel comfortable doing.
Right. Now, Quincy brings up something interesting, though. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. He says I've seen logs that say I saw the cache, didn't want to get scratched, so I signed.
Now that's ridiculous.
Now that I don't agree with. I agree with him that you can't. You really should not. That's not really. You must sign. You need to sign it. So you must sign the cache.
Although, am I going to care if anybody else does that? If it's not my cache?
Well,
I don't have time to police other people's caching styles.
Right. I agree. You're exactly right.
It's on your own honor system. I mean, if you can sleep at night, you go ahead and sign it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to sign that log.
Yeah, right.
Sign the log. Yeah, I've actually deleted them off mine when they say, it has to be pretty ridiculous for me to actually delete it. But
if they said I saw it but didn't sign it, it's getting deleted.
Yeah. I've done it too. I've deleted it.
Yeah. Now, I mean, technically, is there anywhere that says you can stamp as a group? You didn't sign the log. Somebody else stamped it for you.
Those I'm fine with. If I was there, I'm like what Neil said. If I see the cache, I'm okay.
Well, if you're as a team and you're all working together.
But I think you need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my.
Oh yeah, you're not going to be sitting at home while somebody else is going out to get it. That would be cheating.
There's plenty of people.
It happens all the time.
It happens all the time.
I don't know why you would sink so low as to like intentionally just cheat and do all. Like, you're missing something in your life if you're cheating at a game that you don't win any money for.
Right. Something's not right.
Yeah, you're missing something in your childhood probably.
You're dying alone if you're doing that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're dying alone if you're cheating at geocaching.
That's a good shirt. We'll have to come up with that one.
That's a good shirt.
You're dying alone if you cheat. Armchair cashing equals death.
Yes. All right, last question for tonight for both of you. So again, thank you so much. We could do this, and we'll do this periodically.
It's fun.
We have done anywhere. It is fun. You guys have been great sports. Yeah. We'll do it periodically because you
were pretty nice about these. You could have been a lot worse.
I could have been, yeah. This last question is, I think, positive, even though it kind of may not sound positive, but I like it. It's sort of a dream. It's sort of the dream. If you could travel anywhere in the world to geocache, and here's the caveat: you've got all the time in the world, you got all the money in the world. Well, that's a bad way to put it. You're traveling anywhere in the world is covered, so you don't have to limit yourself about time, money. Mm-hmm. Everything is covered. Maybe not million, but everything is covered. Where would you go? So you don't have to go, well, I can't go here, I can't go there because I don't have the money for it. So let's just assume you would have the money and the time to go somewhere in the world. Where would you go? And we'll start with Lenise. I'll let you start.
Well, I have a few. My first pick will be Germany, not just because, there's a lot of great caches there. I wanted to go to Germany ever since I was a little girl, way before I knew about geocaching. So sure. Another place would probably be, I don't know how many caches there are, but I know they have a cache tour, is Egypt.
Oh, cool.
So I've always wanted to go there.
That's unique.
I've always been obsessed with anything Egypt. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
So, that would be we could start a GoFundMe.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some great answers in the chat room. I'll get to all the rest of the answers. Well, are you ready, Jesse, or do you want me to go through some of the chat room before you answer?
I know what I'm going to say.
All right, go ahead.
It's a little different than that because
keep going.
I'm going to say Antarctica.
We'll get to yours in a second. Antarctica. Okay, somebody mentioned that. I'm going to bring that. So Chrysler King 987 says Antarctica. Okay.
And the reason why I say that is I've been to Germany, not geocaching, but all the other places seem attainable through travel I intend to do anyway.
Okay. Right.
Antarctica is not one of those places I'm going to be like, hey, Christy, let's go to Antarctica. She's going to be like, no, we're not going there.
You're like, no.
Oh, really? I want to get a geocache down there. That's not going to fly. It's not hard to sell
be awesome.
Hey, we're going to Germany. That sounds like a great trip. Let's go to that.
Right.
I'll get some geocaching while I'm there, but we're also going on a trip.
Right.
I don't see me selling, hey, let's take our family vacation this year to Antarctica.
Sure.
So I would probably pick that one because there are caches there. And, it's if you're going there, you're not passing through I'm going on summer vacation. That's one of those things. It seems like to me, it's like a dream location that most people will never get to travel to. And it seems like it's very restrictive on who they let in, and get around extremely expensive to do. And that would be one of those once in a lifetime trips that I think would be just crazy. If somebody would pay for it, anybody wants to pay for it, let me know. I'm willing to go.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Let us know. Roomba Cats agrees with the Germany.
Oh yeah.
Happy Hodag says the ET Power Trail.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Guess I might get kidnapped in Egypt if we do that. So
yeah, I don't
know.
You have all the protection, so we'll still let you go. We're gonna.
I'd be kind of hard to kidnap.
We'll keep Arn Garbs. You're gonna put up
a
fight.
No, I'm just a little chunkier than most, so.
Sims Quest says New Zealand and Australia, so that's a good one. The Ape Cache in Brazil. That's
I remember that one. Yeah,
that's a good idea. Sam Marcus wants to go to Anchorage, Alaska. Okay. Killer Beast says Australia. Darren will meet you somewhere in there. Neil Moore, Ireland. You got to pick one. Golly, these people: Ireland, Greece, and Italy. And that's not fair.
If anybody goes to Greece, I'm gonna crawl into their suitcase.
That's right. One. It could be a cruise. You never know.
Germany. Oh, it says the International Space Station.
I saw that. I like that. That's a good one.
I hate to tell him there's no cache up there anymore. And plus, it was just it might still be.
Give it time. I guess there'll be one on the moon before too long.
Technically, I guess that's the it's in the Russian section. I guess it's still attached, but there's the locker is still out there. So, Killer B mentions Machu Picchu. That's interesting.
Oh gosh, I want to go there so bad.
That would be cool. Nepal. That's a good one. Chandram. Let's see.
Really anywhere but Wisconsin. I mean, Wisconsin's great, but come on.
You can't. That's not fair. Cash Candy.
No.
Oh, he picked Germany, so that's good. And he mentioned a webcam, so that's pretty.
There you
go. Anywhere but here. That's not really. That's you got some.
I haven't heard any of these places I wouldn't want to go.
No, I know.
Yeah, Ireland, Australia, and Egypt. Oh, Mel wants to go with. She'll go with you to Egypt.
Okay. She's got to protect
be there
me.
With you. She will. She'll put up a fight if she had. You're not gonna you don't mess with her.
Do that.
Yeah. There's a lot of great answers. I can't go through all of them here, but Greece is another great one. Roomba Cats, thank you. Yeah, a lot of.
Dyer Wolf said, "I found a cache in Wisconsin once. I try to avoid Packer fans. I don't know anything about. I'm not a Packer fan. I don't do football, so
right.
You don't have to worry about that here."
So you need a geocaching Sherpa in Nepal. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure there's several there.
Hellmeister mentions about that. So, all right. Well, that was great. Great fun. Thank you, chat room, for playing along as well. Thank you, for tonight. Great fun. Mm-hmm. Some just quick reminders, and then we're going to wrap up, which is Coins for Kids. Please do not forget. I actually saw one. Somebody bought one a minute ago, so thank you for that purchase. I will get them in the mail. I usually get them in the mail the next day or the day after. So if you've purchased one, trust me, it will be in the mail very soon. Depending on where you are in the world, depends on what we have to charge you for shipping. So if it's US, it's like $5, so it's not too bad. If you're in Australia, I'll figure it out. I'll give you the cheapest rate, and that's the best we can do. Canada, same thing. I'll get you the best I can. I'll do some shopping for you on that and get you the best mail on that. Don't forget, 2 weeks we've got Podcast to Hope. And the Joy Noel, don't forget, you got 5 days to put your information up for Joy Noel. It's in the show notes. Show notes will be up here in a few minutes. So you can always go to Geocache Talk and go to the show notes. It's geocachetalk.com/show-notes. If you want to just go navigate to it, you'll find it. It's on the website. And again, thank you guys so much, and we will see you soon on the next show.
I thoroughly enjoyed this one, so thanks for having me.
It was fun.
Thank you, absolutely. Thank you so much. So
next time we should have people submit some questions for the show.
Yeah, we could.
That could probably come up.
Or you let me make up the questions next time. And Gary, you have to answer it. Yeah. Lanisa could join in if she wanted to.
Yeah.
You don't know the questions, and I get to make them up.
Yeah.
I will not be as nice, though.
Ooh, that sounds better.
Yeah, he can get some tough ones, so that works too. We'll do that as well. So
all
thank you.
Good night.
Good suggestion. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
May your finds be many, and your DNFs be few. May the terrain and difficulty both be less than 2. And whatever it is you're looking for, may it find its way to you. And may we all meet again.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.